Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective Evil Dead 2 Ash Figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
And a real quick look at the side art. Up at the top, it says 112 Collective Pose Play Display. It says Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. Down at the bottom, Mezco Toyz by collectors for collectors. Same thing on both sides. Alright, let's get this guy open and see what's what. Alright, it's Liddy 2 Titty. Got the Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn Ash figure out of the package. This is hot off the presses. I don't know what happened with Mezco over this past week, but I've got 3 releases from Mezco back to back. I got the A Clockwork Orange Alex DeLarge. I got the Catwoman, and now I'm taking a look at Ash. So please go back and check out those other 2 reviews. And I ain't gonna hold you guys up. This is another movie here that I can't say that I've seen in its entirety. Any of the Evil Dead movies. I've seen bits and pieces of them all. Not really a big horror fan, even though this might be considered more comedy than anything. You know, I'm not totally unfamiliar with the character, but this was another one that I picked up because I wanted the parts. I wanted to try to maybe kit bash some things here and do some different things. But I will say I opened this guy up at work, and one of the first things I noticed was I really like this head sculpt. I think they did a good job with the head sculpt here, and overall I think the figure actually looks really nice. So let's go ahead and get into his accessories. Straight out of the package, he's packed in with 2 fists, and let me pull one of these off right now so you can see how that peg looks. It's the smaller pegs here. So let's swap on the other hands he comes with. And I do know Ash is with the shit, so he plays no games right off the bat. I'm swapping on the chainsaw hand here, and you can see that the indentation in here is pretty deep. You got to push it back pretty far on his wrist to get it on there and get it to stay, but you can actually rotate it a bit, and you can see there's a portion where he can hold the chainsaw with his other hand, and then he's packed in with this other left hand that is open. Obviously you can hold the chainsaw and maybe some other items. Then he also comes with another left hand, which can be used for him to hold his gun or his boomstick. You can actually use this hand to hold the handle for the chainsaw as well. I think that actually probably looks a little better in my opinion, but let me break out his boomstick, and there's a good look at that. Double barrel shotgun. The butt of the gun is brown. The actual pump is brown. Black barrel. Not too much detail, but it looks pretty good, and I guess it's screen accurate. And no issue with him holding that. He's got his actual finger in the trigger groove, so that looks authentic. Like that a lot. Even when he's relaxed, he looks good. He's also packed in with the Book of the Dead, so you can see that little face there on the front. It's brown, it's textured, not too bad there, and I'm sure he can hold it with this hand. Yeah, however you want to finesse that. And taking a close look at this head sculpt, which like I said, I think looks very good. I do feel like it looks like a young Bruce Campbell. I think they did a really good job with this head sculpt. And you can see the little 5 o'clock shadow there and the scars on his face. The hair looks good. You know, it looks like it's wavy, textured. I think they did a really good job on this head sculpt. The rest of the deco, you can see his ripped shirt. You can see some scars there on his belly. And you can see where the shirt actually originated from. This is actually sewed to the pants though, so it doesn't keep flapping and getting in the way, but you can see that it tore from the top down, and I think that looks good. And all the blood stains on his shirt and up here towards the top of his pelvis on the pants. I actually wanted to get this guy because I was thinking about using this body and maybe making a relaxed Cyclops. I was just talking about this on the podcast the other night. Maybe taking off this harness and putting the brown leather jacket on him from one of the Cyclops that's going to be released, and then swapping on the head. But it looks like this is the whole head and neck thingamajiggy here. But whatever, I'm sidetracking. Everything here looks very good though. All of the stitch work down to the boots look really good. The treads on the bottom, you can see the laces. A lot of detail here. The blood here looks new. It looks fresh. And the chainsaw looks really good. A lot of little textures and colors and everything there. I think the deco here looks excellent. And there's a look at that neck peg. And here's the first interchangeable head. And this one is just bloody up around his brow. The scars look fresh, as opposed to the other one where they look like they kind of dried up a bit. And I'm not sure what this is supposed to represent in the movie. Like I said, I can only see bits and pieces of this movie, so help me out in the comments. But I do think this looks really good. I love the way the fresh blood looks. It looks very authentic. I don't really have any issues here. I think the likeness on the other face is probably a little bit better, but you can definitely still see it. They definitely put some work into this. And this final interchangeable head is this one here. Again, help me out in the comments. He looks zombified, or I don't know, like he's possessed or whatever the case may be, but you can see these really dark rings around his eyes, and you can see that his neck looks like it's sunken in, and you can see the veins, and it looks like he's been dead for a while, and you can see some dry blood in there in his neck, and the scars are there again. You can see more scarring by his ears. And this looks really creepy. It looks cool. I like this a lot. And then his final two accessories is the Deadite head. Again, help me out in the comments. I don't know what the relevance is here or what happened with this, but this also looks very nice. Great texturing and paint work, and looks really creepy and cool. You can see the eyes are a different color, and the teeth and the tongue and everything is painted, and a little bit of hair on the back of the head. And you can see where it's been severed. All the little nerves and stuff like that. So that looks dope. And then he also comes with the severed hand here. There's a focus with the middle finger extended. And that's cool. And no, you cannot attach this head or hand to anything. And it should be noted that his shotgun can be holstered here on his back. And it fits in there nice and snug. No issues there. And this looks authentic. You can have him kind of reaching back, but not really, because there are no double jointed elbows. So let's go ahead and get into articulation. This is where I always gripe with Mezco. I really hate that they don't add more articulation to these figures. I do understand that they probably want these to be more high-end, sort of just vanilla posed figures, but they must know that people are doing great photography and videos and doing A.C.B.A. with these figures. But anyway, you saw the head and neck was all one piece, but you do get a decent range as far as looking down. Up, I wish you could look up a bit more. I mean, obviously if the head was separate from the neck, you'd get a better range there, but it'll pivot, move left to right, can do a full 360. Shoulders are going to come up just about that far. You can do a full 360 on this arm because it is exposed, and you won't risk messing up any of the material on the shirt. Obviously you don't want to do that with the right arm. There is no cut at the bicep. That's one of my gripes with a lot of Mezco figures. I wish they would all have the cut. The single jointed elbow is a pain in the ass. It does swivel there. You get a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. You do get a little bit of articulation in the upper torso. It doesn't move quite as much as I would like, and you get just a bit in the abdomen too, but you can turn them left to right at the upper torso and a little bit at the abdomen too. You don't want to really twist that up too much because you may risk popping the shirt out of the pants and messing it up. So not the greatest range in the upper torso. Leg is going to come up just that far. A split, you might not want to take it any further than that because you will risk tearing the pants. There is an upper bicep swivel, I'm sorry, upper thigh swivel. I guess you do get a double jointed knee, yes. You get a swivel on the foot, you do get a slight hinge, and you do get a slight pivot. So better on the foot than Catwoman, which I complained about a lot, but still not the greatest. You know, you can definitely stand him on his own, stand him flat-footed. There's no problem standing him up, but I do wish there was a bit more articulation. All right, one size comparison here. I got the Mafex Gwenpool on the far left, and right next to her, the Marvel Legends Cable, And then to our right from Ash, his immediate left, I have the Mezco Punisher, so you can see how he stacks up next to another Mezco. And on the far right, I have the NECA Terminator 2 Terminator. So I'm kind of on the fence about what I want to do with this guy, if I want to break him apart or what. Shout out to whoever that was that commented on my Alex DeLarge video and said maybe I should watch the movie before I figure out if I want to break that guy down or not and use him for parts. But I do like the way this guy came out, aside from the lack of articulation, which has been my major problem with a lot of the Mezco figures as of late. They definitely need to do something better as far as the lower foot goes and the upper torso goes, but I think they pretty much nailed this though, as far as the likeness and all of the minor and major details on this. Well, not really major because they didn't nail the articulation, but I still do think it's a solid offering, and I do think it's one that people who enjoy these movies would enjoy. So it's one I would definitely recommend that you pick up. Help me out in the comments too. I wasn't sure what was up with the hook for the harness around his chest, if that was to hook the chainsaw on there, or what the deal is with that. But yeah, this guy is decent. Decent job here from Mezco. So as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.